Japan has taken the world by storm with its revolutionary ideas, from anime and sushi to Japanese sports cars. But out of all of these great concepts, there is one that comes up in everyone's mind whenever you think of Japan, and that is Japanese ramen. And to no surprise, with ramen being a staple to Japanese cuisine, you will quickly realize there are ramen shops on almost every corner in Tokyo. And with thousands of shops to choose from, the search for the best ramen in Tokyo might seem like an impossible task. But that's where I come in. I scoured through the thousands of shops, and I've narrowed it down to the 7 best ramen shops you'll find in Tokyo. Get your Google Maps ready and prepare to discover the true potential of this beloved Japanese dish. Number 7. Kiraku. Kiraku Noodles can be found in Dogonzaka, which is right up the street from the hustle and bustle of Shibuya. While Dogonzaka has become an enchanting place for its love hotels and nightclubs, Kiraku Noodles will give you another reason to fall in love with Dogonzaka, but in another way. You'll know you found the place when you see a line jutting out of what appears to be a normal building. While the line might convince you to go find another place to eat, believe me, it is worth the wait. What really sets this place apart and makes it worth the wait is their unique blend between Japanese and Chinese style noodle soup. While they offer the simple and satisfying pork ramen you typically get, Kiraku also adds in a healthy portion of Chinese wonton dumplings. These dumplings absorb the flavor of the pork broth, which creates a refreshing twist to your typical ramen shop and really helps make it all the more irresistible. The simple and salty broth gives you that comforting warmth with every sip, while the abundance of noodles, dumplings, and pork will make sure you leave feeling pleasantly full. And the best part, you don't have to venture far at all from the bustling streets of Shibuya to enjoy this culinary delight. Kiraku Noodles is just a quick walk up the street from Shibuya Crossing, making it the perfect spot to grab a quick and delicious meal while exploring the city. So come visit Kiraku Noodles and discover why it's one of Shibuya's best kept secrets. At least from the typical tourist, that is. Number 6. Kikanbo. Kikanbo ramen has become famously known amongst tourists and locals alike as being one of the best places to put your taste buds to the ultimate test. The spice test, that is. As you approach the shop, you'll be met with demons and ogres overlooking the entrance. This theme matches the restaurant perfectly as you prepare to engage your taste buds in a battle against the heat of the spicy ramen. Before you enter, you'll find the ticket machine on the right, where you pick your weapon of choice. Once you pick your ramen, you can head inside and confront your demons. Spice demons, that is. As soon as you enter, your senses are immediately bombarded. Your nose is filled with the smell of deliciously seared pork, the flames from the fiery ramen being prepared light up your eyes, and your ears are filled with the sound of fast-paced taiko music as your body prepares for battle. When it's your turn to order, you can choose no spice if you want to take it easy, or go all the way up to Oni level, which translates into demon level spice. I chose the medium spice level. That way I could have a good reference of how spicy the normal amount is, and definitely not because I was afraid of the spiciest level. When the ramen comes out, you can see and smell the spice as you prepare to dig in. And when you take your first bite, you'll be amazed as this ramen is exploding with flavor. But surprisingly, this ramen wasn't all that spicy, at least for the medium level. And for reference, I would say I have a pretty medium tolerance for spice, and I typically order a level 3 spice at Coco's Curry Restaurant, for any of you Coco's lovers out there. So next time, I'll definitely be getting the Oni level spice to put my tolerance to the test. And as a fun side note, they have a curry version of the ramen restaurant right next door. So whether you're curious to test your strength with their curry or ramen, Kikanbo is the perfect spot to push your limits. Number 5. Afuri. If you're trying to find a ramen shop and want to be sure that everyone will enjoy it, then Afuri is the perfect choice for you. As one of Tokyo's most flexible and customizable ramen shops, Afuri's modern take on ramen is sure to please everyone, no matter what their preferences are. Let me show you exactly what I mean. At Afuri, they offer several different options for vegetables, meats, and even noodles. So if you're looking to keep your calorie intake low, then Afuri's got you covered. Their soup is a very light chicken broth, which is a nice change of pace from the typical heavy pork broth you'd find at most ramen shops. And if you want to take it a step further, then you can also order konjac noodles. Konjac noodles is made from a root and is very low calorie, which is perfect for all those diet lovers. And speaking of diets, they even offer a vegan style of ramen for people that have the strictest of diets. Once you're done customizing your order and receive your bowl, you'll realize that Afuri made this list not just because of its customizable options. The broth is light and simple, but still offers a satisfyingly salty flavor you'd expect. The pork, if you choose to order it, is marinated and cooked to perfection, both in a rice bowl and in ramen. And while there is plenty of salty goodness coming from the broth and meats, they mix in a nice balance of vegetables and greens, giving you that refreshing taste when you need a break from all that saltiness. Speaking of greens, Matilda tried the vegan ramen and was pleasantly surprised. The bowl was colorful and full of great vegetables, and the plant-based soup was warm and comforting, exactly what you would expect from a nice vegetable broth. Overall, Afuri is an amazing modern-style ramen shop that has something for everyone, and is a place you must visit the next time you're in Tokyo. Number 4. Gonokami Seisakusho. Located in the back streets of Shinjuku, this shop has become famous amongst Tokyo locals not only for its unique style of tsukemen, but also for its one-of-a-kind flavor that can't be found anywhere else in Tokyo. Unlike the ramen spots we have covered so far, Seisakusho is a tsukemen shop which offers a slightly different way to enjoy their delicious meals. At a tsukemen shop, instead of the noodles already being in the soup, you get the noodles in soup in separate bowls. So every time you're ready to eat, you have to dip your noodles and mix them in your dipping soup. This is a fun way to eat your noodles and is a nice break from the normal style of ramen. But the way you eat at this restaurant isn't the only thing that sets it apart. Instead of your typical fish or pork style broth, they offer an interesting shrimp style broth infused with a tomato-based soup. And the unique dipping soup doesn't just stop with the sauce. Along with their tomato-based tsukemen, they include mozzarella, basil, and even a few whole tomatoes for you to enjoy. It almost makes you think you're eating an Italian dish rather than a Japanese one. But regardless of what it may look like, it is absolutely delicious. Once you take your noodles, mix it with the soup, and take your first bite, you immediately feel the delicious creamy tomato sauce fill your taste buds. And best of all, the noodles you get with your dish come stacked with a pile of basil on top. So every time you mix your noodles in, you add a nice helping of basil to the soup, making it taste better with every bite. Gonokami Seisakusho is an amazing shop that stands out amongst the rest and is something you can't miss the next time you're in Shinjuku. Number 3. Mitsuyado Ramen. Mitsuyado Ramen is one of the best ramen shops in Tokyo, not only for its high quality meals, but also for its delicious twist on ramen, which I'll cover in a bit. Located on the second floor within the Sunshine 60 Street, Mitsuyado Ramen is well hidden from most tourists and locals alike. And this is especially good news, as most great ramen shops in Tokyo usually have very long lines for them. But what makes this great shop rise above all the others is its uniquely delicious twist on ramen. And that twist is sprinkling freshly grated yuzu on top of their ramen. For anyone that might not know, yuzu is a type of Asian citrus fruit that is famous for its therapeutic aroma which emanates from its skin. Not only is the aroma inviting and soothing, but its unique sour yet sweet flavor provides a nice little kick to anything you eat. The steamy broth from the ramen helps the yuzu aroma rise into the air and fill your nose with this refreshing smell. And when you finally take your first bite, your taste buds are immediately hit with a fascinating mix of flavors. The creamy and smooth broth and noodles give you that salty and rich goodness you would expect from ramen, while the yuzu adds a pleasantly sweet flavor that makes each bite a refreshing experience. Mitsuyado Ramen is a great place to either enjoy a nice lunch or a quick dinner, so you can get out there and explore more of what Tokyo has to offer. Number 2. Menko Ushio. Menko Ushio is one of the best ramen shops you'll find in all of Tokyo. But I'm not the only one saying this. Menko Ushio is so good, it was voted the best ramen shop in Tokyo back in 2013. Now that I've gotten your attention, let me explain why they're one of the best shops in Tokyo. Unlike your typical pork broth ramen you'll find almost anywhere in Tokyo, this place boasts two very unique flavors. Their first is their shoyu and dashi style broth, which offers a simple and salty flavor while adding a hint of fish from the dashi to complete the taste. As if the broth itself wasn't unique enough, they go a step further, providing you slices of perfectly cooked duck rather than the typical pork or chicken cuts. The balanced flavor from the broth and the roasted duck is sure to satisfy almost anyone's taste buds. But their signature dish, and the one that landed them the award from 2013, is their chicken broth ramen. This bowl of ramen really impressed Matilda and I with its presentation alone. You were given a bowl full of creamy chicken broth, a perfectly poached egg, and an asparagus stick wrapped in bacon, all of which is arranged perfectly like a work of art. And if that wasn't enough, the caramelized onions in the broth will help round out that flavor perfectly. And when you take your first bite, you'll understand why it was voted #1 in all of Tokyo. The broth is everything you'd want from a chicken-based soup. It's creamy, it's salty, it's smooth, and it offers tons of flavor in every bite. And finally, the bacon-wrapped asparagus and egg helps fill you up, leaving you perfectly satisfied and happy you stopped by. Menko Ushio has proven why it was voted Tokyo's best ramen and is a place you must try when you're in the area. Well, now that you know that Menko Ushio was voted the #1 ramen in all of Tokyo, you might be wondering what could possibly be higher on this list, and we'll get to that in just a second, but before we do, let's go over an honorable mention. Coming in as an honorable mention is Ippudo. While Ippudo is a chain restaurant, it offers some great tonkotsu ramen and can be found all over Tokyo, which is why I put it as an honorable mention in case you're in a rush and don't have enough time to make it to some of these shops. The most popular dish and the one that started it all is the Shiromaru Classic, which features its creamy and classic tonkotsu broth and thin noodles. But if you want to get something with a little more kick to it, then the Akamaru ramen is just for you. The Akamaru comes with the signature pork broth, but includes a special miso paste and garlic oil for a bold, spicy, and savory taste. Whichever ramen you choose, you will not be disappointed. The tonkotsu broth is a rich, creamy soup that melts in your mouth, and the pork slices are marinated to near perfection. The Akamaru version was a great mix between savory with a little spice, and Matilda's Shiromaru ramen was exactly what you would expect from a world-famous tonkotsu restaurant. So if you're in a rush or don't want to go too far out of your way, then Ippudo's numerous shops are sure to be within walking distance and will definitely satisfy your ramen fix. Alright, you guys have waited so patiently, let's move on to #1. #1, Kamunabi. And coming in at #1 is Kamunabi, the perfect local shop that captures the essence of what makes a local Japanese ramen shop so magical and is why it's risen to the top. When you enter, you are immediately greeted by some very friendly shop owners who kindly guide you to your seat. They offer the typical types of ramen you'd find, like the classic shoyu and shio or salt style broth. But what sets this place apart from the rest is just how much pork you can order. And I was feeling adventurous and wanted to see just how much pork they put in the bowl, so I ordered the biggest size. And I will say I was not expecting just how much food was about to come my way. When I got my bowl, I couldn't even see the noodles because there was so much meat in the way. In fact, they give you so much pork here that they provide you a bowl to put the pork on the side so you can actually get to your noodles. Not that I was complaining though, because it just made me more hungry. Anyways, when you have finally cleared the path of meat and can get to your noodles, you'll see why I have put this place at the top of the list. The broth is just the right amount of simple. It isn't too strong, too heavy, or too salty. It is just the right amount of flavor you would want in your ramen broth. But the main main reason this shop has made it to the top of the list is its unbeatable marinated pork. Their slices of pork had a perfect fatty and marbled look, resembling some of the highest cuts of beef you can buy. And when you finally take your first bite, you won't be able to stop until it's all gone. Every bite is full of flavors you'd only get from a pork that's been sitting in a perfect marinade for several hours. And when you combine this great food with some of the friendliest shop owners we have met, you get everything you'd need for a perfect local ramen experience you rarely come across in Tokyo. Kamunabi is one of those rare ramen shops you absolutely cannot miss whenever you visit this magical city. Like this video so others can enjoy these delicious ramen shops. Watch my other Tokyo videos to plan your trip. Check out my affiliate links in the description below when you plan your next trip to Japan. And until then, I'll see you next time.